Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Podcast Special Edition series where I go through every conference in college basketball, the preview, the season for 2019-20. Now up is the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. I'm going to go through my projected standings finish order, player of the year, freshman of the year, coach of the year, and any other random little predictions I have. All right. Coming in first place, I have the Iona Gales, who have pretty much owned this conference under Tim Cluess. Year 10 for him. 17-16 last year. 12-6 in the MAAC. They won the auto bid a year ago. Coming back, Tejuan Agee, E.J. Crawford, and Asante Gist, as well as new freshman coming in, Parker Weiss. In second place, I have the Rider Bronx, team that was the preseason pick to win this conference a year ago. 16-15 last year, 11-7 in conference play. Kevin Baggett in year number 8 on the job. Notable returnees Stevie Jordan, Frederick Scott, Demincio Vaughn, Tyree Marshall. In third place, I have the Quinnipiac Bobcats. Made the CIT last year. 16-15, record 11-7 in conference play. Baker Dunleavy in year 3. Notable players coming back, Rich Kelly and Jacob Rigoni. In fourth place, I have the Monmouth Hawks, who went 14-21 a year ago. 10-8 in conference play. King Rice in year 9. Which is hard to believe. Dion Hammond and Ray Salave are notable players coming back. In fifth place, I have the Manhattan Jaspers, 11-21 a year ago, 8-10 in conference play. Steve Masiello in year 9 on the job. Notable players coming back, Paulie Polycap and Warren Williams. Those are two funky names. In sixth place, I have the Siena Saints, 17-16 a year ago, 11-7 in conference play. Jamie and Christian left to go to George Washington after spending a year with Siena, so now the Saints have a new head coach for the second straight season. Jalen Pickett's the notable player returning. In seventh place, I have the Marist Red Foxes, 12-19 last year. 7-11 in MAAC play. John Dunn in year 2. In 8th place, I have the Canisius Golden Griffins. I have them taking a step back. They have 15-17 last year. 11-7 in MAAC play. Reggie Witherspoon in year number 4 on the job at Canisius. Notable players coming back, Corey Brown and Malik Johnson. In 9th place, I have the St. Peter's Peacocks. 10-22 last year, 6-12 in conference play. Shaheen Holloway in year number 2 at the job. Cameron Jones is the notable player coming back. In 10th place, I have the Niagara Purple Eagles. 13-19 a year ago, 6-12 in MAAC play. Chris Casey was let go, so Niagara now has a new coach. And in the cellar, I have the Fairfield Stags. 9-22 last year, 6-12 in conference play. Sidney Johnson was let go at the end of the season, so Fairfield also has a new coach. Notable players coming back, Landon Taliaferro and Jesus Cruz. All right, my pick for player of the year in the MAAC, the AA MAAC as I like to call it, Jalen Pickett of Siena. I think that if it wasn't for this guy, Siena would be near the bottom of this conference, and he'll carry them to as many wins as possible to possibly play spoiler in the MAAC tournament. Freshman of the year, Parker Weiss of Iona. He's going to be coming in, and I think that Tim Cluess will give him some minutes, and he'll produce. And I have Tim Cluess for Coach of the Year, because why not? Tim Cluess has been the best coach in this conference over the past decade, and I expect him to lead Iona back to the big dance this season. And a bonus prediction, I think this is the year Cluse finally jumps to a bigger school. There's been people in the media wondering that over the past few seasons. He's a darn good coach, and I think that he's well overdue to make a jump to a new school. In terms of a coach on the hot seat, I think there's two: Steve Masiello at Manhattan and King Rice at Monmouth. I think both these guys have not really produced what those schools have hoped over the last few years. Both of those guys have been there almost a decade now. Manhattan really hasn't been to the tournament in a good 5 or 6 years, and Monmouth almost made it that one year. But other than that, when has King Rice ever done like a masterful coaching job? So I think that both of those guys, I think, could be in trouble with subpar seasons, especially in conference play. I'm not suggesting that one of those guys will definitely get fired, but I think that these two are very likely, if either of these teams have disappointing seasons. And the rest of the bottom of the conference all have made changes over the last few years, so that's why I'm pointing out that the most likely ones, in my opinion, are Monmouth and Manhattan in terms of possible changes. And in a change in a good way where the coach leaves to go to a new school, I'm going to say it's potentially Iona, and I think that's more likely to happen than Monmouth or Manhattan making changes after underwhelming seasons. All right, next up is the MAAC conference.